Of course, we raised this issue with Mick Mulvaney, the management and budget director, only to inquire whether this is just creating a sense of a distraction, a siege mentality at the White House. He says no. Former press secretary for Vice President Mike Pence, Marc, Daily Mail, White House correspondent Francesca Chambers. Francesca, what about you? I mean, it's kind of like the ongoing course of events. I understand that, but it's got to rattle folks.
Well, certainly, Neil, as this investigation continues, the White House has to keep talking about Russia, and the president has to keep saying that, in his opinion, there was no collusion, there was no collusion, there was no collusion. But as we look toward what else you could potentially be hearing about in the White House press briefing today, the questions don't necessarily get any easier. You'll probably see a lot of reporters asking about this immigration deal that Senate Democrats and Senate Republicans are working on, and the fact that we now have a spending agreement in place until February 8th. But what comes next? And what is the White House's plan at this point to keep another government shutdown from happening, or to move past this issue generally and move on to the rest of its agenda?
We know, Mark, that this went on for a few hours. Of course, such, questions and back and forth, that could easily happen. But what do you read into that?
I don't make much of it. I think the Director Mueller is doing his job, that he's going to cover, he's going to talk to everybody that he thinks he needs to talk to. But at the end of the day, you can just add Jeff Sessions' name to the list of people they've talked to, and there's still no evidence of any collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. So, it's just more of the same. And, we're even seeing reports out there that one of the FBI agents that was doing the text messaging even admitted in a text message that there wasn't much there. So, it's just really just more of a fishing expedition, but we'll let the director go through and finish his work.
Francesca, do you worry, though, that this, for the administration, takes the eye off not only the budget thing that you alluded to, but infrastructure, some of this other stuff, because people seize on this? What's the latest in the drama, et cetera?
Well, the president will obviously have an opportunity with the State of the Union address on January 30th to kind of do a reset, Neil. And while that hasn't been talked about very much around here lately, because not just of this investigation that you're referencing, but also the budget deal that we're talking about, certainly the president will want to lay out several things that he wants to accomplish over the next year. And that doesn't just include an immigration plan. That would also include infrastructure, as I heard you talking about previously. That also includes welfare reform that both President Trump and House Republican leader Speaker Paul Ryan have said that they want to move on to. And of course, there could be some other surprises in there, and I'm sure that we'll be hearing more about the legislative agenda from the White House after the president completes his trip to Switzerland.
Yeah, that should be interesting, too, that trip alone. Guys, thank you very, very much. Some news I want to pass along here. We're getting confirmation now that the president is going to be hosting the French President Macron in late April. That would be the first such state visit to the White House under the Trump presidency. That tends to be a big affair. They get everyone for a black tie event at the White House. They're really something to watch. But anyway, the French president and his wife will be coming to Washington around the end of April, and it's going to be a big deal.